Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm Michelle Napier. I'm the Director of College and Career Readiness.
I'm Fred Rasmussen. I'm the Student Services Director here at Palatine High School. We're very excited to have everyone here with us this evening and hope you find this information beneficial as we begin to navigate the college process with you and your family.
Whether your family has immigrated to the United States, historically has encountered obstacles to go to college, or financially has not had the means to support a college education, we're here tonight to provide you with information to prepare and navigate this process successfully. We know it can be overwhelming and scary, but congratulations, this is the first step. Tonight, you will hear from a variety of individuals who will provide you with the resources that are offered within our buildings and from our college partners. They will review and define terms and acronyms commonly used in this process.
Tonight is just the beginning. We encourage you and your student to continue to advocate and partner with our school and our resources that we will discuss throughout the process this evening. Your student has access to their school counselor, a college and career counselor in each of our buildings, and a career advisor.
In addition, you will learn about the resources we offer and the partnerships we have with college admission professionals. Whether this is a freshman or a senior year, we are here to help you find your path to the future. So now let me introduce Pam Nurkey, college counselor at Conant High School, and she will be our moderator for this evening. Thank you.
So what is first generation? You may hear this term throughout you or your student's high school journey, but what does it truly mean? A first generation student can be described as the first person in one's family to attend college here in the United States. If you are the first person in your family to go to college, you may need additional support in understanding the process and determining the right school for you. Here in District 211, we want all students and families, especially our first generation students, to know they are supported and never alone through this tedious process. We know it can be overwhelming and confusing at times, but that is why we are here to help. Here are some really important topics that we are going to cover throughout tonight's presentation. If you have questions throughout the event, please feel free to enter them into the question and answer feature in the chat. We will answer them throughout the night. If you could take a second, we would greatly appreciate if you could take a picture of this QR code. We will also enter the link into the chat, but it would be greatly appreciated to just get a better idea of what kind of students and families are here tonight so we can better assess the needs of all of you moving forward. Thank you so much. So where do we begin? As a college counselor, I hear this question often from my students. Ms. Nurkey, I don't even know where to start. What do I do first? Counselors from varying District 211 high schools are here tonight to help you and your student better understand where you can begin and where to go for the most optimal post-high school success. I would now like to welcome Patrick Evans, College and Career Counselor from Hoffman Estates High School, and Erica Werlein, Counselor at Schaumburg High School. They will help by giving us a year-by-year breakdown so students and families can learn what they really need to focus on so they can have the most success after high school.
Success in college begins with preparation in high school. Here are some of the key components that will lead students to success. In the next slides, we will dive deeper into each area. To ensure student success, we've narrowed down the most important components to these four categories: social emotional, familial, college application preparation, and academics. We understand that freshman year is a big transition for students. Our focus at this time is to help students become comfortable navigating high school. From a social emotional perspective, freshman students should learn to embrace all that high school has to offer. Learn to lean into discomfort. This might mean taking classes that push them outside of their comfort zone. Lastly, learning to communicate information between school and family is an essential part of being successful. From a college admission standpoint, it's important that students become involved in high school. There are many activities and athletics to choose from. Studies have shown that students who are involved in clubs and sports tend to have higher academic success. This leads us to our next important point for college readiness, which is academics. When students apply to college as seniors, they will send a transcript that shows all of their grades starting their freshman year. This is important to know because freshman year creates a foundation for a strong GPA. The GPA is established based on a student's grades in each class. And at the end of each semester, they are assigned a point value of all of their grades. If a student is struggling in any area, it is important to seek help. We have a variety of academic resources available within each building. With this being a big transition for students, it's important that families support their efforts. As a sophomore, students are expected to build upon the foundation that we laid freshman year, while taking it a few steps further. Social-emotionally, we hope that students will continue their success by developing a supportive social and academic network with teachers, their counselor, and fellow classmates. From a familial standpoint, it would be helpful to start exploring college campuses. Students should also look for opportunities for leadership roles in clubs and activities. Leadership roles can help a student's application stand out amongst their peers. Lastly, academically, now that students have begun to establish their GPA, it's good to get an idea of what college admission requirements are and compare them to your student's current GPA while there is still time to make adjustments. We also encourage students to identify areas of interest and start taking courses that align with those interests.
Junior year is where it all starts to come together. Academically, this is the last year to secure a strong GPA since most college application deadlines are during the fall semester of senior year. Also, students will be taking the SAT exam in the spring semester of their junior year, which is another component in the college admissions process. There are many tutoring opportunities available at each school for the exam that students should discuss with their counselor. Social-emotionally, students want to continue to develop positive relationships in school and expand or further define their goals for after high school. As a family, communication becomes even more important to make sure that you are all on the same page in the process of finding a good college fit. This would be a great time to have a conversation about how your student will pay for college and the level of family contribution. From a college admission standpoint, junior year is a time to continue exploration and begin narrowing down the options to prepare for those senior year applications. Senior year can be an exciting but also stressful time for students. Communicating with your senior is really important in order to make sure they are taking care of themselves and staying organized in the college application process. In the beginning of senior year, we encourage students to create a to-do list for the scholarships and colleges they are applying to, including the due dates and components needed in the application, such as SAT scores, possible letters of recommendation, and essays. The relationship between families and the school counselor is even more important at this juncture. Counselors can assist in navigating the application process, staying organized, and helping you connect you with experts pertaining to the financial assistance at the college level.
While we are focusing on the college going route today, there are many options our students have for after high school. These include a four-year college or university, Harper or a different two-year institution where students can either earn an associate's degree to later transfer to a four-year university or take advantage of the many certificate and apprenticeship programs offered. Students can also enroll in the military, in a vocational program, or go straight into the workforce. District 211 provides students and families with many planning opportunities, both during school hours and after. We encourage all students and families to take advantage of these as they are free of cost and available to all. These include school, college representative visits, a college advisor in each building, career treks, which are career-related field trips, a career fair, which will take place second semester, counselor group guidance, free SAT prep, as well as a college night, which will take place on October 6th at Palatine High School at 6:30 p.m. If you decide that the college route is the right choice for your student, how do you decide between a two-year college or going straight into a four-year college or a university? Let's take a look. The two-year college track means your student will start their college process at a local community college and transfer to a four-year college or university to complete their 2 additional years. Harper College is District 211's community college. Taking this route has the benefit of saving money in the first 2 years of college, it being closer to home, great for students who are uncertain about what it is that they want to study or pursue, the ease of transferring to a four-year university through articulation agreement with community colleges, as well as the advantage of starting with a clean slate, as only grades from the community college are looked at for admission. When we take a look at the four-year college track, it means your student will start at the four-year college or university that they plan to graduate from. Things to keep in mind are the location of the school, size, cost, academic programs available at that school, the scholarship opportunities, as well as the personal fit for your student.
Thank you so much, Alex. While all this information could be overwhelming at times, we thought it might be helpful to hear from the experts themselves when it comes to the financial aid process and the college application and decision process. With that, I would love to introduce you to our incredible panel for this evening. Sarah Kirk, admissions specialist from Harper College, Julio Trujillo, Assistant Director of Admissions from Dominican University, and Masude Usaler, Illinois Student Assistance Commission Northeast Regional Coordinator, will all be presenting to you tonight to share some general information about what these different options may look like at the next level. Without further ado, Sarah Kirk.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Kirk. I'm an admission specialist at Harper College. I'm also a proud District 211 high school grad. I graduated from Schaumburg High School. When I graduated from Schaumburg, I then took the next step to attend Harper College, and that's where I completed my associate's degree. At Harper College, if we are a community college, our main campus is located in Palatine, Illinois. That's where the majority of our classes and student organizations, athletics are taught. Harper College is open admissions. So what that means is once you apply to a community college, you are automatically accepted. We do not require any admissions essays, certain SAT, ACT scores, certain high school GPA. Once you apply, you are automatically accepted. There are certain programs, like in particular, our health career programs, like nursing or dental hygiene, maybe ultrasound technician, that are limited enrollment, so they may require certain admissions requirements, but generally it is open admissions. At Harper, we offer many different options for academic programs. So we have associate degrees that are designed to be transferable. So you may hear students say, I may go to Harper for 2 years, complete my general education courses, and then transfer to a 4-year university, do 2 more years, and graduate with a bachelor's degree from that university. What that means is they'll be taking those gen ed courses like English, math, science, humanities, social behavioral science classes, and maybe some elective classes based out of their major. And then they'll be able to transfer that to a 4-year university to then ultimately be awarded a bachelor's degree. So that's why it'd be about 2 years at the community college, about 2 more years at the university, and then they'll get that bachelor's degree. On the other hand, a really great option at a community college is career-ready opportunities. So there's associates in applied science degrees that are very specific to a particular area. So things like health careers or manufacturing and construction, business, early childhood education, where you can complete an associate's degree that would be much more technical, not as many general education courses, but very specific in that particular area, preparing you to start working in that field right after the associate's degree. In addition to that, there are certificate programs that are much more specific. So an associate's degree might take, or might be in total 60 to 70 credit hours, where a certificate could be 6 credit hours. You can complete it in 1 semester, could maybe be 32 credit hours, but usually completing it much faster than an associate's degree, very specific to a particular career or for a licensure that you might need, and you can start working right away. Sometimes those certificates are stackable to a degree. So maybe you complete 1 certificate, start working, earning some money, seeing if this is really what you want to do. And then you can come back, you can add another certificate, maybe 2 more, and ultimately get an associate's degree. Another one of the benefits of a community college is the affordability. A community college, Harper, is much more affordable compared to a university. So you're in the long term going to be saving thousands of dollars by maybe starting your academic career or journey at Harper and then transferring, or just completing that career-ready option. There's other ways to even make it more affordable by completing applications like the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA. You'll start completing that October 1st of your student's senior year. There's the alternative application if you're not eligible for financial aid, and many scholarship opportunities. In high school, you may be hearing a lot, your student is working towards the Promise Scholarship. So the Promise Scholarship is one where a student could earn or have their tuition paid for up to 2 years, 60 credit hours at Harper. So that is one of many scholarship opportunities that we offer. We'll want to keep an eye out for another scholarship called Distinguished Trustee.
and academic recognition, which will open up like beginning of December, the student's senior year, and usually closes mid-March of their senior year. So a lot of different opportunities to even help lower that cost. For a full-time student, tuition, fees, and books at Harper for 1 year could range about $4,000 to $5,000 for the year. Another benefit of a community college and Harper is that we are closer to home. So for a lot of you, we're right down the street. So if maybe your student's not ready to make that jump of moving away from home, you'd like to save some money on living expenses, commuting, a community college is a great opportunity for that. In addition, there's flexible classes. You can take classes at 8 a.m., noon, in the evening at 6 p.m. We have online options, blended, part online, part on campus. So great opportunity to help balance work life and also just making sure that we can fit that into your schedule, whether you have other obligations. In addition, a community college has many opportunities to get involved, and this is a great opportunity to build your academic resume to show that you were successful at your community college, completing your associate's degree, but you were also getting involved maybe in the honors program or student government or one of our other many student organizations and clubs, taking advantage of the health and recreation center that's available to all students, or concerts in the park, or movies in the park, or art exhibits, concerts, things like that. Also, we have support services. So your student is never alone on their journey at Harper. They'll be connected with admission specialists like myself throughout the enrollment process. You'll be able to come out, take a tour of the campus, really get to know what those next steps are and what's going to be expected of you in that enrollment process. But in addition to that, you'll be assigned an academic advisor, just like you have your high school counselor at your high school to guide you on what classes to take at Harper to make sure you're on the right path for that transfer program or the career-ready degree that you're working towards. Okay. And right now I'd like to pass it over to Julio Trujillo.
Thank you and good evening. Buenas noches, my name is Julio Trujillo, Assistant Director of Admission for Dominican University. Oftentimes, many students will ask me, why is it beneficial to start my career at a four-year institution? And let me tell you, being a transfer student myself, I took advantage of my community college and the cost effectiveness. However, had I been able to do it all over again, I would start my career off at a four-year institution. Let's talk about the application process. The application process may be a little bit different at a four-year institution because there are certain requirements that you have to meet in order to gain admission from there. Also, deadlines are going to be different, as well as whether you are applying directly to the college or university or the program specifically that you're going to gain or trying to gain admission into. Working with not only an admissions counselor, but also an academic advisor, you're going to have a whole crew of people working with you, working for you, making sure that you understand every step of the process. You're going to be able to have your very own financial aid advisor, your very own career services advisor, and oftentimes your program advisor is going to be your instructor as well. This allows you to begin to establish a relationship with this advisor, with your professors, because they're going to make sure that you're following the right program for your major. Oftentimes students will say, well, I can take these general education classes at a two-year community college and they'll be the same thing. While that might be the case, those relationships that you will begin to establish at a four-year university are going to be stronger because of the fact that this advisor, this professor is going to begin to know you from the very first day as a freshman, and we'll see you grow, we'll see you mature. And this relationship that you've already established will help you along your career path, because when the time comes for you to do or request a letter recommendation, who better than somebody who's seen you grow, mature over these last 4 years. Oftentimes as well, you're going to be able to do research. Many of you are going to be looking to go into STEM fields. At most colleges and universities, they have the opportunity for you as a freshman to be able to do this research and be published at an earlier stage. So there are many, many benefits to going into a four-year university as well. The other thing too, a lot of you want to do athletic programs. Not only can you do that at the college level and participate, there may be an opportunity for you to do a scholarship if you go to a Division I school. There are some Division II schools that also offer some type of financial aid support. Also, D3 schools or Division III schools, you may still be able to participate in the athletic program, just no scholarships that are going to be available for you. The other thing too is the different student clubs and organizations that are on campus. Oftentimes at a community college, you don't have a fraternity, you don't have a sorority that you can join. At a four-year institution, they will have these opportunities for you. And at most of these schools, if you do not see a program or a club or activity that fits your needs, you can get one started. Most of the time, all it takes is for you to get 7 students, 7 of your friends, to handle the executive board, write a charter, and you can get your student club and organization started right away. The other thing I wanted to make mention to you too is that at a four-year institution, a lot of students, myself included, suffered sticker shock. You see the cost of not only the tuition, but also room and board. And I'm here to tell you that not to be afraid of that sticker cost, because oftentimes you are not going to be paying that full sticker price. A lot of private four-year institutions will give you additional scholarships for whether you're going to be staying on campus, opportunities for you to get scholarships through the various programs. Oftentimes they also have competitive scholarships that can go all the way up to paying the full tuition cost for you to attend for each and every student for all 4 years. So many opportunities still abound. And what I have up on the screen for you is just my quick tips. When you do go visit a college campus, always make sure to pay attention to the students. Take a look at their faces. Are they smiling? If they are, great. There's something going great at that institution because they have those resources readily available to help students out. You always want to be able to hang around on campus to see what the campus vibe is going to be like. More importantly, you always have to try the food on campus because you can be all hyped up about attending campus, great programs, but when the time comes, you're going to have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and there's only so much ramen noodles that you can have as a student. So with these tips, I leave you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Julio and Sarah, for that amazing information. As a first-generation college student myself, I will never forget the day that my dad told me I was not going to college because we could not afford it. Lucky for me, I laughed in his face and I said, "No one can afford college, Dad, but I am going." I had the opportunity to work with amazing admissions representatives like Sarah and Julio and counselors who helped make my dream of going to college a reality, both academically and financially for my family. It is so important to understand the financial opportunities available for our students, both in high school and afterwards as well. We are so lucky to have the Illinois Student Assistance Commission here in the state of Illinois. Their job is to help students and families realize that the dream of going to college can be a reality financially for every single family. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Masude Usler, who is the Northeast Regional Coordinator for ISAC. She's going to help break down the financial aid process to better understand how you can pay for college.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Masude from the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. A little more about ISAC. Our mission is to provide Illinois students with information and assistance to help make education beyond high school more accessible and affordable. We are the college access and financial aid agency for Illinois, so we also administer state grants and scholarships. So what is financial aid exactly? Financial aid is money that comes from various sources that helps you pay for college. It helps make college more affordable, and it's intended to help fill in the gap between how much college costs and how much you and your family can afford. And financial aid comes in several different ways. It can be given, borrowed, or earned. So one of the options is grants. Grants are usually a need-based form of financial aid that is given. In order to qualify for grants, most will require you to fill out a Fafsa, or a free application for federal student aid. State grants also require filling out a Fafsa. and funding may be limited depending on the grant. Again, this is need-based, so they will be looking at your financial information and rewarding grants based on that. Scholarships are another form of gift aid that can be need-based, merit-based, but it all depends on the scholarship program. There are scholarships available for all different ages, so it's never too soon to start looking for scholarships. Local scholarships will have smaller applicant pools, so when you're doing your scholarship search, it's important to look at local small-scale scholarships because they will have smaller applicant pools and your student will have a better chance of getting accepted. Federal student loans are a form of financial aid that is borrowed. In order to qualify for federal student loans, a Fafsa is required. They must be repaid. Students have the sole responsibility for repaying federal student loans. And there are maximum borrowing limits for federal student loans. Another form of financial aid which is earned is federal work study, which is a need-based employment program. In order to qualify for federal work study, a Fafsa is again required. There's a question on the Fafsa that asks, would you like to be qualified for federal work study? And we recommend you say yes to that. Once you find out that you are eligible for federal work study, the student still needs to go out and find a job, interview for the job, and go through the same process of finding a job. Funds for federal work study are limited. It's a first come, first served program, and it depends on each college campus. So these are the two big need-based grants for the upcoming school year. Illinois offers the Monetary Award Program grant for up to $7,200, and the federal government offers the Pell Grant for up to $6,895. So if you just show financial need, your family can be eligible for up to $14,095 in grant money. So here's a little overview of the financial aid process. So senior year, October 1st, the Fafsa opens up. So first thing you will do is either fill out your Fafsa or your alternative application. If your student is selected for verification, you'll complete that process, receive and renew all of your financial aid offers, respond to the colleges, decide which college you want to go to, and then complete all of their pending processes that might include housing, food, orientation, things like that. So what exactly is a Fafsa? The Fafsa is a free application for federal student aid. So for most students, it's going through the first step in the financial aid process. It is used to apply for federal financial aid programs as well as Illinois state financial aid programs. Colleges will also review your Fafsa in order to award their own institutional aid. So what information is needed for the Fafsa? For the Fafsa, you will need your social security number. Parents who don't have a social security number is not an issue. You can enter all zeros. If the student is an eligible non-citizen, they can use their alien registration number. And you will also need to create a FSA ID to sign the Fafsa electronically. So the student and one of the parents must create an FSA ID. And the financial information you'll need for your Fafsa are your federal tax returns, W-2s, and other records of income. So for the upcoming school year, that will be your 2021 records of income. Any banking statements and records of investment as of the day you're filling out the application. Records of untaxed income, and a list of colleges that the student would like to attend. So when you fill out your Fafsa, an expected family contribution number is generated. This number is an estimation of what the student and family are expected to be able to afford in one academic year. So why is it important? It's used to determine your eligibility for federal and state aid programs. And colleges will also look at your EFC in order to determine institutional aid eligibility, specifically need-based aid. So once you fill out all of your financial aid offers and start receiving college acceptance letters, you will receive a financial aid offer. Colleges will look at your information and package a financial aid offer for you. It's really important to review the offers that you receive from every university because it will be different. And keep these things in mind when you review your offers. What is the cost of attendance going to be? What is your expected family contribution? What aid were you eligible for? Were your financial needs met? What kinds of aid are included? Is it just gift aid, or is self-help aid included? And what is your out-of-pocket cost going to be? So some tips and reminders. Fill out your Fafsa or your alternative application as soon as possible after October 1st. The application opens up October 1st, but students do not need to fill it out until their senior year of high school. The information that you put on your Fafsa is confidential and only used to determine eligibility, only used to determine financial aid eligibility. Everything that you put on the Fafsa is subjected to verification. So supplemental applications or forms may be required by the university. It's important to keep track of all the deadlines, keep copies of everything that you submit, and reapply every single year that the student plans on attending college. So here are some trusted websites to stay up to date and learn more about financial aid. The studentportal.isaac.org is a great resource where you can find more about Illinois financial aid, as well as any local scholarships, things like that. Studentaid.gov is the federal U.S. Department of Education's website, which will give you lots of information about federal aid programs. Fafsa.gov is where you will fill out your Fafsa, and isaac.org/alternative app is where you will fill out your alternative app if you are eligible to fill out the alternative application. Isaac also has a free text line. So the number that's highlighted is the local number that you can text for any questions about college or financial aid. There will be a real person on the other end of the line who can answer any questions for you and text you any reminders about deadlines and things like that. Thank you so much. Here's the information of Raquel Garcia, who is the Isaac representative for D211. And I will thank you and have a good night.
Thank you so much to Sarah, Julio, and Masude for all of your incredibly important information and insight. Amazing representatives like this can make all the difference in you or your students' application and decision process. So after hearing all of this amazing information, you may be thinking, what do we do next? And that's a great question. So what we would recommend if you are feeling overwhelmed or a little bit anxious about all the information that we've shared is reach out to your high schools and figure out all the different amazing events that are already happening right there at your home school. First, we will be hosting College Night on October 6th. This is an amazing opportunity where over 150 different college representatives, just like Sarah and Julio, will be at Palatine High School. This is an open event, welcome for all District 211 families with no restrictions this year. So we would love to see you at Palatine High School on October 6th. Each high school also has their own college rep visits at their home schools. This is an amazing opportunity to have really intimate conversations with college representatives in students' school days. We do excuse students from class in order to attend these. So if you have further questions or wondering when a college that you might be interested in is coming to your school, please reach out to your counselor or your school's college counselor, and they can absolutely help. We also are so lucky to have an amazing ISAC rep like Masude and Raquel, who are here to help all of our District 211 families. Each high school will be hosting a variety of financial aid help nights, FAFSA workshops, or different opportunities that students and families can use to get help with their FAFSA or financial aid questions. And if all of this is a little overwhelming for you still, and you're not exactly sure what you want to major in or do after you graduate, that's okay. This is the perfect time to further explore your interest, whether that be through extracurriculars, electives, or career interest inventories, anything that you can do to figure out what you might want to do after high school. You have some time and we are here to help. If you haven't been able to do the attendance form yet, please go ahead and do so now. We are entering the link into the chat. I think might have been a bit broken before, but please go ahead and do so right now. Like I said earlier, we would just love to see who's here and how we can better help our families here in the district. We could not be more appreciative of all the different the presenters' times and expertise this evening. Feel free to stick around if you would like to ask further questions. If not, have an incredible night. And please remember, you are never alone. We are here to help you and your family every step of the way. Have a great night, and thank you all so much.
And just as a reminder, college night is Thursday, October 6th at Palatine High School. It will also have transportation from your home schools to Palatine and return you back later that evening. The information is on our website currently, so feel free to take a look as we finalize the program. In the college and universities that will be in attendance, that will be up as well. However, there is a pre-registration that your student should complete that will allow them to scan into each university's table so they can provide them information through email and send some literature at home.
Great questions. College night starts at 6:30 and will end at 8:30 at Palatine High School. And I know that was a little bit confusing. So each homeschool does have their own college visits and presentations and things like that. But as a district, we are hosting one college night. So everybody from all the high schools is invited to Palatine on Thursday, October 6th to enjoy the evening with all the different college reps.
There are a lot of questions in regards to financial aid. Many of our schools have financial aid night, and we also have financial aid completion events. Also, if you have specific questions, feel free to contact ISAC directly, and they can answer any specific question that your family may have. We will post that information also on the website. Any of the events pertaining to college, specifically events regarding the college reps coming to the school, are posted on Schoology. So feel free to look at your high school Schoology pages, and that information will be provided there.
Great question. So you do have to fill out, Rahila, you do have to fill out the Fafsa and send out the Fafsa to all the schools that you're applying to. There are 10 spots on the Fafsa. So if you're applying to more than 10 schools, you can submit it and then go back and enter those other schools. Fafsa will only be for the financial aid. You will have to do a separate application in order to apply to the college. Sometimes there's additional forms that the college may ask you to fill out, but the Fafsa is going to help you get financial aid, and then the application itself, whether that be through Common App or Coalition or the school's website, is what will help you get admissions. Good question. FAFSA only needs to be filled out by your seniors the year before they go to college. Once you are in college, you fill it out every single year, or if you're in graduate school, you can fill it out then as well. But freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, don't worry about it just yet. This is just a fun preview. You will be only filling it out your senior year. Also, seniors, make sure you're filling out the FAFSA for the following school year. So you'll be filling out the 23-24 FAFSA because it's going to be financial aid that you need for next year, not this year. Great questions, everybody.
There was a question about if you should apply undecided, especially if you're applying to a school that has a competitive major. And I would say it depends. There are schools that if you come in undecided, it is extremely competitive to apply once you're at the school. So there is a chance that you would not be able to be enrolled into that program once you're at the campus. So if it's truly a major that you're intending to do, you should apply to that major. And then if you are truly undecided, then apply undecided and explore. But you don't want to put yourself in a situation that once you're at the university, that it is so competitive that you are unable to major in that area.
There was also a really good question about if your family feels like they shouldn't fill out the FAFSA. It is a graduation requirement for seniors in the state of Illinois. So whether it be the FAFSA, the alternative form like Masude talked about earlier, or families do have the opportunity to fill out a non-participation form. This is signing that families and students understand that the FAFSA is a requirement, but they don't want to fill it out for any reason. So there's those three options. I do recommend having your family fill it out, even if you think you might not qualify for anything, because through the FAFSA, you will get the opportunity for loans most likely, and those loans have the lowest interest rate. So rather than going through a private firm or bank or anything like that, if you or your student need to take out any loans, the federal government will have the lowest interest rates. So it's always worth just giving it a shot to see, but you could fill out the non-participation non-participation form or the alternative form as well if you would like. Really great questions. We're also getting a lot of questions about scholarships. So this could be its own presentation in and of itself, but each school gives two types of aid. There's merit aid and then there's financial aid. Merit aid is based off of your students' SAT scores, GPA, transcript, and really their profile as a student. A lot of schools are going to automatically consider you for merit aid when they get your application. Sometimes there are additional scholarships that the school or your community might have to offer. You can always look at the school that you're applying to's website. Each District 211 high school has a variety of local scholarships that unfortunately not a lot of students always apply for. So there's lots of different ways to get scholarship, but the best way you're going to get aid from the university is through merit aid. And the money must come from the schools that you're applying to as well. Great question. Fafsa does open October 1st. Ms. Uday, does Fafsa close?
Not until the end of this freshman, until the academic year.
So
that'll be like, should it be upcoming school year, like 2024, summer 2024?
Okay, so Fafsa does not close until summer 2024. So you have plenty of time to do it, but ISAC does recommend trying to get it done at least by Thanksgiving. That gives you enough opportunity to get the most financial aid possible, because once the government runs out of money, that pot does not get replenished. Permanent residents, yes, you are able to fill out the Fafsa. The only time you would fill out the alternative form is if the student does not have a social security number or is undocumented or identifies as a transgender student. We do recommend applying to colleges by November 1st, if at all possible. We do think that gives students the best opportunity for admissions and for aid, but if you aren't able to get it done by then, please do not freak out, it's okay. Some schools have rolling admissions, so you can apply as they get the applications, they'll review them and then give award packages. But really, November 1st is a great deadline to have, just to give you the best opportunity possible. I would recommend, that's a really good question about the local scholarships. I would recommend reaching out to your student services department at your high school, your counselor or your college counselor. I think each high school does it a little bit differently, but we each have a pretty extensive list of scholarships that our students can apply and qualify for. So that's a great question for each individual school.
And there was a question about merit scholarships that each school provides, and that is each school specific. So depending what happens at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign versus DePaul University, merit scholarships are very specific to those universities. I also would encourage you to go onto the school's website, because they also have different levels of scholarships that are more geared towards students that are funded through alumni and different other providers through the university.
That's a great question. So November 1st isn't exactly the latest you can apply. We recommend that, but a lot of schools have rolling admission, which can go all the way until into the spring. May 1st is decision day. So most colleges like to hear at least back from students about their decision by May 1st. But Common Application, which is the application that over 900 schools now in the United States use, and it's really the most user-friendly application. So what you can do is you can make a Common App account. Common App opens on August 1st, and then rather than filling out 12 different applications on 12 different websites, you can fill it out all there in a one-stop shop, and it will send to all the schools that you're applying to. So Common App doesn't open until August 1st, but it stays open throughout the year. Oh, that's a really good question. You do them at the same time, right? So FAFSA opens up October 1st. The Common App opens up August 1st. So really you can do both simultaneously, but the sooner you fill out both, the better your chances are for getting money and for getting admissions. So they really should be kind of done at the same time. Fall's a little bit stressful for seniors, but like we said, don't worry, we are here to help. Do we have any additional questions at this time? Feel free to type them into the feature and we will answer them before we close out for the evening.
Again, just as a reminder, we are recording this session and it will be on our district website. So you can access this in the next day or so, along with the slides from the presentation.
That's a great question, Nancy. So a lot of the schools' websites will tell you if it's a recurring scholarship for each year. Usually there's just a GPA requirement. Maybe the student has to maintain a 3.0 GPA in order for it to be renewable, but a lot of them are very upfront about that. If they're not, for some reason, when you get the award letter, absolutely ask those questions and absolutely read through each line of that award letter just to be sure your family is knowledgeable about what you're getting into before you agree to any schools. Good question. Schools have applications for every year. If you want to be a transfer student or start halfway through the year, each school handles that differently. So that might be something you'd want to look at the school's websites. And if you Google, DePaul transfer policy, all the information should pop up there. Each high school also has a list of all the college representatives that have come and visited, or that the college representatives who are assigned to your high school. So if you have questions about a specific university, reach out to your college counselor. I'm sure they have the contact information, and that could be a great way to get the answers from the school that you'd like to speak with. We recommend to have a really safe number of safety, match, and reach schools. A safety school would be a school that your student absolutely meets the GPA requirements. It's a school that you feel like you can afford, and that would be a good fit. A match school would be a school that your student really wants to go to, usually falls in the average admitted scores in terms of test scores and GPA. And then a reach school might be, like for me, Northwestern. I would have never gotten in there, but if I wanted to apply, I might have known it might have not been a great option for me, but I wanted to try anyways. So having a healthy number of each schools is kind of how we recommend breaking up the list so that you have a great opportunity moving forward. That's a good question for Julio. If you were to take a gap semester, would you have to apply as a transfer student, or does that depend on the school?
It really depends on the school. If you take above, say 12 to 16 credit hours, then you consider a transfer student. If you keep your credit hours under, say 12, you may just be able to apply, but it really depends on the school.
That was a really good question. So Julio said it really depends on the school if you were to take a gap semester. So that would be something we'd recommend reaching out to the school you're interested about. We are having a Directions College Fair next week for any students who have IEPs or 504s. And this is a really great opportunity through Harper College that helps to describe what the process is like for students in special education transitioning out of high school. So that would be a great event that I would recommend going to. That would have a little bit more information about that, but definitely reach out to your student school counselor. They can help with that as well. Well, thank you all so very much. Your questions were amazing. It's always really great to answer these and to help each of our students and families out. If you have further questions, like we said, the presentation will be presented and it will be posted online as well. And with that, have a great night.
Everybody. Thank you for being here.